There are so many dating tips out there. We are so busy looking for red flags and being cautious of who we get ourselves involved with. But hold on, nobody's perfect when it comes to relationships. Let's be real, there are going to be times when we are not on our best behavior. It's a learning process, and we grow throughout the journey of solving problems and conflicts together. Then how do we know if this relationship is worth that journey? How do we see that a person is really worth fighting for? The most we can do is to set ourselves up for the best chance of the relationship succeeding. And we can do that by knowing these green flags that a person must have in order to grow a healthy bond with you. Today we're going to talk about green flags that you can pick up on to see if your relationship or future partner is someone you should pursue. Let's get right into it.
Green flag number 1, they listen well. Do they just talk about themselves all the time? Or do they ask you questions and be curious about your answer? If they make space for you in a conversation and try to get to know your inner world, that is a sign that the relationship dynamics will continue to be well balanced and well respected in the future. Now pay attention to how they listen. When you try to talk to them, do they put away their phones or is their face still in it? Do they let you finish a sentence? If they can do active listening, it provides you the space and opportunity to be vulnerable with them. That can provide a deep level of emotional connection, which is an essence to a long-lasting relationship. If your relationship is still in its early stage and it's still developing, observe how they interact with other people. How do they treat disagreements with someone? Do they listen well to other perspectives other than their own without dismissing them? Good communication is easy on your best day or during your honeymoon phase. So see how they navigate a conversation about big or small issues or topics that makes them passionate or emotional. If they could handle these tricky conversations with openness and compassion, that is a big green flag. This can show how they're going to handle conflicts with you that's definitely going to happen down the road. So again, the first green flag is the ability to listen well and take time to understand you deeply, as well as being able to hear others out well in the moments of disagreement with respect.
Green flag number 2, they say sorry. Apologizing is hard, but no relationship survives without sincere apologies, especially as the relationship gets more serious. Pay attention to how your new partner apologizes. Do they deflect? Or do they take ownership of their mistakes? Can they take constructive criticism about their behavior? Which can be very hard for anybody to do. It takes a lot of courage and vulnerability. It means that you're going to own up to your mistakes and take accountability for the hurt that you caused. When they shrug it off and refuse to take accountability, it shows their ego is more important than the person that they hurt. To know if their apology is genuine or not, make sure to be aware of genuine and fake apologies. Here are some examples of fake apologies that people can use. I'm sorry that you got upset by what happened. I didn't mean to make you feel bad, so don't feel hurt. Or I was just trying not to offend my friends. Intentions behind these apologies are to transfer blame and not take ownership. The real nurturing apologies sound like, I am sorry that I hurt you. Or I should have considered your feelings before I did what I did. Or I realize my words made you sad, and I wish I could take that back. When they take ownership of their actions, it shows that they value your safety, comfort, and security. If they're able to recognize and admit that they are also the one contributing to the issue, they are more likely to be intentional about how they behave in the relationship, and more likely to be able to address the problems in the relationship as they come up in a healthy and constructive way. So, number 2 is, they are not afraid to apologize.
Number 3, emotional availability. Do you and your partner feel comfortable talking about your emotions and insecurities with each other? Being vulnerable usually indicates that someone is willing to deepen the connection. It might also indicate that you're on your way of creating a space that makes both of you feel safe. And that safe place is an absolute must for a relationship to grow in a healthy way. It's a key element in forming secure attachments. While you shouldn't rely on your friends or family to be your main resources of validation, finding someone who understands and honors your emotion is crucial. So does your partner accept your emotions and reassure you that they're completely valid? A good partner is able to recognize not only their own emotions but also yours. If they're kind of dismissive of their own feelings and needs, they will obviously do the same when it comes to yours too. So what we're looking for here is empathy and then matching the energy level. When you're sad, they're sympathetic. When you accomplish something, they're happy for you. Or if you get overwhelmed and need few minutes alone, they offer to provide you that space and time. So number 3 is they're comfortable talking about feelings and they're able to listen to yours and validate them.
The 4th green flag is self-growth. Are they always trying to be a better partner than they were the day before? Falling in love is easy, but staying in love requires intention. As it gets more serious, you will need to put more effort into the relationship so it works for both of you. If there is no work put in, your hearts will naturally drift apart. Because when you face conflicts and challenges, that initial spark starts to fade. So what are the signs that someone is being proactive about keeping the relationship alive? See if they have high self-awareness. Do they check in on themselves when they get frustrated or overwhelmed? A healthy relationship requires 2 people who can recognize their own needs. Having that awareness is the first step to be able to talk about those needs in a clear, healthy, and constructive way. When they're able to look within, rather than blaming it on the situation or their partner, working as a team towards that conflict resolution becomes much easier. If they can take feedback without getting defensive, take responsibility for their own actions and issues, then they can actually take a step towards that change. Love should translate into actions, not just sweet words. So number 4 is they show that they are aware of the role that they play in the relationship and they are always trying to improve.
That leads to green flag number 5, boundaries. If someone can hear you out when you set a boundary and adjust their actions, that is a major green flag. This one can be often overlooked during the initial phase of a relationship, aka honeymoon phase, because of the strong desire of closeness. However, it is essential for a relationship to develop healthy boundaries if you want it to be truly fulfilling and long-lasting. These boundaries might include physical boundaries, sexual boundaries, material boundaries, emotional boundaries, intellectual boundaries, and time boundaries. In any relationship, it is so important to communicate about your personal boundaries around these topics, not only for the relationship but also for your well-being, which ultimately is going to be a determining factor to whether you can show up in a relationship as a good partner or not. Relationship boundaries can also mean letting you both have individuality. Pairs who can balance togetherness and their time alone are proven to be happier and long-lasting. Having a job they care about, interests separate from the relationship, and connections with others including friends and family all help build a stronger foundation for a romantic bond for you guys.
Do you or did you see any of these green flags in your relationship? Share your experience on these in the comments down below. In a separate video, we are going to cover the 6 most overlooked red flags in a relationship. So be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos.